2025 has already been off to a great start for the horror genre, and it seems like we still have an amazing year of movies ahead of us, including a ton of sequels or reboots, requels, spin-offs, whatever you want to call them. So I put together a list of all the ones I could find that are coming out this year, and I'm going to go over all the films that have confirmed release dates first, but these dates can always change, so bear that in mind. First up, Final Destination Bloodlines is coming out on the 16th of May. This movie will follow Stephanie, who has a recurring dream about dying in a horrific accident that occurred in the 1960s. She realises that it's not just a dream, but a premonition of the fate that awaits her. Her grandmother had escaped the same fate years ago, and now death is coming after her entire family. I've been waiting a long time for a new Final Destination movie. I love this franchise and all its ridiculousness, and I actually just made a video ranking all of the Final Destination movies so far, so I'll link that if you want to check out. Fear Street Prom Queen is coming on May 23rd. This film will follow the popular girls at Shadyside High School that are competing for prom queen, but when they start to disappear one by one, a gutsy outsider realises she's in for one hell of a prom night. This is also among multiple other Fear Street movies that are apparently in the works as well, so we've got a few of these to look forward to. 28 Years Later is coming on the 20th of June. Almost 3 decades since the Rage virus spread across the country, a group of survivors are living on a small island, but when one of the group leaves the island on a mission into the mainland, he discovers secrets, wonders, and horrors that have mutated not only the infected, but other survivors as well. Megan 2.0 is coming out on the 27th of June. After the tech for Megan is stolen, it's used to create a military-grade weapon in a new doll known as Amelia, leaving our returning protagonists Gemma and Katie with their only option to resurrect Megan. She'll have to regain their trust to help fight back, with the help of a few upgrades, making her faster, stronger, and more lethal. The I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot/sequel is coming on the 18th of July. Similar to the original, the plot will focus on a group of privileged teenagers who accidentally cause a death and attempt to cover it up. But a year later, they find themselves being targeted and eliminated one by one, forcing them to seek help. Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are returning to reprise their roles from the original, and they are also upping the violence and the scares for this reboot, so I'm very much looking forward to that. The Conjuring Last Rites is releasing on the 5th of September. So far we don't have a trailer for this one or much information on what it will be about, but we know it will be closing out the story of Ed and Lorraine Warren. This is the 4th and final main Conjuring movie for this phase, at least, as they're calling it. So of course we can still expect to see more spin-offs and stories set in the Conjuring universe in the future. The Strangers Chapter 2 is releasing on September 26th, after being delayed multiple times I think. And this story will continue straight on from where Chapter 1 left us, which I know a lot of people were disappointed in that movie, and I definitely share the same feeling. However, the trailer to this sequel actually did pique my interest a little bit. They at least look like they're taking a new direction for the Strangers, potentially showing us more about who's behind the mask and hopefully giving us something different. I feel like they're kind of in a unique position here where the only way is up really, so whatever they choose to do with this one, it kind of surely has to at least be better than the last one. The Black Phone 2 is coming on the 17th of October. A teaser for this one was shown at CinemaCon that reveals it will be set at a lakeside winter camp. This is one of those ones that I was extremely surprised to hear it was getting a sequel. Because of how the first movie ended, it seemed like the story was definitely finished. So I assumed this one might be a prequel, but it turns out it's not. It will feature the same cast returning, including Ethan Hawke as the Grabber, but he will apparently be acting as more of a Freddy Krueger type supernatural villain. Apparently there's even a scene where he skates across the ice to kill somebody, so I'm definitely intrigued and I'm looking forward to seeing this trailer when it's released.
It's definitely darker, way more sinister. Obviously I can't say much about it, so I'm like, you know.
Hell House LLC Lineage is coming out on the 25th of October. This is the 5th and likely final movie in the Hell House series, which has been going on for 10 years now. It will feature returning faces from the other movies in the franchise, including the Carmichael siblings from Origins, the Carmichael Manor, Vanessa Shepherd from Lake of Fire, as well as the now iconic clown from the first movie. And this is the first time a movie in this series won't be found footage, so I'm very intrigued to see how that goes. Poohniverse Monsters Assemble is coming on October 25th. This is of course part of this franchise of childhood Disney characters being turned into horror movies. We had Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, the Peter Pan one and the Bambi one, as well as the Pinocchio one that's coming out soon I believe, and this movie will see them all come together for an all-out blood-soaked frenzy. I haven't seen any of them yet, but I know some people absolutely love them, so I hope they're very excited about this. Predator Badlands is coming on the 7th of November. This movie will be set on a remote planet in the future, and we will be focused on a young, outcast predator as the hero of the story rather than the villain. He finds an unlikely ally in Tia, and they embark on a treacherous journey. And this will be directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who made Prey, the last movie in the series, and who also, as a side note, is the director of another Predator movie that's coming this year on June 6th, Killer of Killers. And this is an animated anthology movie showing the Predator in different eras. So the Predator franchise is back with a bang right now. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is coming on December the 5th. This sequel will see Mike, Abby and Vanessa facing the possessed animatronics once again as they seemingly wreak havoc on the neighborhood. Apparently this movie will follow a lot of the same plot points from the second game, including the second pizzeria location and the toy versions of the animatronics which we can see in this teaser trailer. I don't know much about the games other than the fact that people are very passionate about them, but I actually like that because I'm going in with a fresh mindset and I'm very interested to see where this sequel goes. So now I'm going to go over all the horror sequels that are still rumoured to come out this year but don't yet have release dates. So potentially these are the most likely to get pushed back and come out later down the line, but as of right now they are rumoured to be released in 2025. 47 Meters Down 3, The Wreck, is rumoured to be coming sometime this summer. The film will follow a father that's determined to rebuild his relationship with his daughter during a scuba diving trip. They're exploring a famous shipwreck in tropical waters, but soon after their descent, an accident occurs, leaving them alone and unprotected inside the labyrinth of the wreck. Now the pair must use their newfound bond to escape the relentless barrage of bloodthirsty great white sharks. The sequel to Thanksgiving is set to come out November this year. This is rumoured to be about a new Thanksgiving-inspired killer, and it'll feature the surviving characters from the first, like Nell and Gabby, among others. And apparently Trisha Paytas will also be in this movie, which is very interesting.
There was a part written for me, so I don't know if that's gonna happen. He's like, maybe Eli just doesn't like you. I'm like, maybe.
However, Eli Roth did say the filming of this was delayed, so I wouldn't be surprised if this one is pushed back till next year. But as of now, it's still rumoured to be coming out this year. Return to Silent Hill is also rumoured to be coming this year. When a mysterious letter calls James back to Silent Hill in search of his one true love, he finds a once recognisable town transformed by an unknown evil. As James descends deeper into the darkness, he encounters terrifying figures both familiar and new, and begins to question his own sanity. This was already delayed from last year, and the fact that we haven't heard much news about it could be a red flag, but it's been 13 years since we last had a Silent Hill movie, so my fingers are crossed that we get a teaser trailer or some news about this one soon. They Follow is rumoured to be coming late 2025 or possibly early 2026. A movie I never thought would get a sequel, but I am not complaining. I think this is a concept that can be taken so much further. Micah Monroe will be reprising her role as Jay. Although we don't have a plot for this, based off the movie's title and the only description on Letterboxd saying it's everywhere, we can assume this demon has become more widespread. If this does release this year, it's absolutely one of my top anticipated movies of the whole year.
Yeah, I read it and I was like, oh, okay. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. So I think I have high hopes. I'll just say that I have high hopes for it. Yeah.
The 8th VHS movie was announced by Shudder to be coming this year around October. This franchise is on a steady track now of a new movie being released every year for 3 or 4 years now, so I'm excited to see where they go next. Very little details on this one so far, but we've seen the VHS series now base themselves in different decades, as well as VHS Beyond last year being sci-fi themed, so I'm very intrigued to see what theme they go with for this new entry. The Return of the Living Dead sequel is set to come out this December, and this is a direct sequel to the original horror comedy cult classic. It takes place 18 months after, where a new chemical leak puts a small town on the brink of a zombie outbreak during Christmas 1985. And the short teaser trailer we got for this one shows the return of the iconic Tar Man. So that is my list of horror sequels / reboots coming this year. It's possible, even with the amount on this list, that I've missed a couple, so please let me know in the comments if that is the case. And let me know which of these you're the most excited for and why. Please subscribe and like for more horror content, and thank you so much for watching.